Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back. It's been a short little hiatus we had going on there, but now we're back. You're listening to the No Girlfriend podcast. As always, I'm your host, Ace. With me is my pal, my buddy, my co-host, Spencer Jabbar. How's it going, man? What are you up to right now?
I'm doing great, actually, Kris.
Yeah.
Fantastically well.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. I was feeling a little nostalgic earlier today, you know? This time of year makes me a little nostalgic from my university years.
Oh, why?
Cause around this time of the year is a thing that happens at Laurier in the second week of winter semester called Winter Carnival. And I used to take part of it in my years as an undergraduate student, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of good times, and seeing a lot of my friends are still at school, taking part in it right now, watching their Snapchats, and getting mad FOMO, dude. It's kind of remind me of my younger days, and it's I kind of missed a little bit, but I'm happy with where I am right now. So yeah, it's a trade off.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling nostalgic, Kris.
Yeah.
Although I think there's some things we need to discuss. I think we have some housekeeping we need to take care of in reference to our second episode of the No Girlfriend podcast when we
Okay, you want to...
I want to jump right into it.
Yeah, sure, okay.
All right, because I got to clear this up. So, do you want to say the story? Do you want to just build up what you told me, or should I say it?
Sorry, I had to burp. So basically, we're going back to episode 2. If you haven't heard that yet, please give it a listen. You're talking about Osmow, Shawarma, and Mississauga. So apparently, shocker, they nearly failed their health inspection the other day in December for various reasons, citing, not super clean workstations, food kept at insufficient temperatures, not enough sanitization of utensils, just a myriad of different things that they all were insufficient in or failing in. But they barely passed conditionally. But then they passed again fully a couple days later, but still a shit house. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the reason we go back there, to be clear, is just because they're the only shawarma place open late, right? So, but there's more to this story. So, Kris and I ventured down there this evening to purchase some shawarma, and when we walk in there, first thing we notice is that all the employees are wearing gloves. And if you recall back in the second episode, I made a big stink about the fact that they just use their bare hands.
Like fucking savages.
Yeah.
But now they're all gloved up, protected.
Yeah, so they're trying to be a little more safe. It clearly got the message, although they still have that notice on their screens that say, "You want to know why we don't wear gloves?" I guess that's going to be taken down shortly. But then lo and behold, we have another shitty experience where I try and order something and they screw it up right in front of my eyes. I'm like, yo, let's get some shawarma on some fries, all right? And then I'm like, no, there's 2 sauces, or 3 sauces. Hot sauce, garlic sauce, and tahini sauce.
Yeah.
So I'm like, when I order it, I'm like, no tahini sauce. All right, they put it in, it comes up on the screen, no tahini. All right, so I'm watching them make it. They throw the fries down, they pile all the chicken on there. They put the garlic sauce on, and then he's reaching for the tahini bottle. I'm like, no tahini. But he's just so zoned into it, he's just shaking. He just needs to complete this order. He just starts pouring the tahini all over. I'm like, no. I'm gonna try to say, don't do it. And then he does it, and I'm like, no, it says. And he's like, no tahini. I'm like, dude, you just took my order 10 minutes ago.
That was an offensive accent, Spencer. I should maybe apologize to our viewers.
Shut up, Kris. And he looks at the screen. He's like, oh yeah, no tahini. I'm like, yeah, no tahini. He's like, well, you're gonna have to wait for new fries now. I'm like, all right, well, I got nowhere better to be. So lather them up. And then he turns around. He's like, oh no, we have them. He's like, isn't that good? Huh? They're ready? You don't have to wait? I'm like, no, you won't be fucking good. We have my fucking order done. That would be great. Because Kris is right here. We ordered at the same time. Kris has been standing there holding his order for 5 minutes. And I'm waiting for mine. They finally get mine. They screw it up. So then they put the fries in there. And then the dude has the fucking balls to look me in the eye and be like, so only tahini now, right? I'm like, what? He's like, no, I'm just kidding. And then he goes and prepares it properly. So That was a shitty experience.
How dare he make a joke at your expense after his fuck up?
Exactly, Chris.
Who does he think he is?
You know what?
Yeah.
Amen. All right. Slow clap. All right. Screw this place. Screw this establishment. And yes, I know you're being sarcastic, but screw Osmow.
It was like half sarcasm, half sincerity.
I just the dude. Clearly, I wasn't having it, right? Because I have no patience. Like, I'm not one of those dicks who's a customer who's like they put a piece of lettuce on something, and I'm like, oh my god, like what's wrong with you people? I'm not like that at all. But this place has just a history of screwing up everything that I love, which is shawarma, and I'm sick and tired of it. And they screwed yours up too a bit.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care that much, but like they did fuck it up, and I was pretty mad about it. Just food is food, you know. It's all end up in the same place, my fucking bathroom toilet, so it's all good.
But yeah, no, honestly, what a joke, what a shit show. But I think that should do it for our little housekeeping on that order.
Yeah, that was a pretty big blast from the podcast. If I could say so myself.
Oh wow, Chris, rim shot, great job.
But yeah, let's move on to the new experience of the week. The week. It's been like, what, 3 weeks since we last recorded a podcast? I don't know, something like that.
Has it?
Yeah.
That's been a little while.
It's been a little while because we like, it was after Christmas, and then there was the New Year's, and then the week after New Year's. It's been a little while, yeah. So we had a lot of time to amass some new experiences. Do you want to start, Spencer?
Yeah.
New with you?
In that time, because I live a very boring life, very ordinary life,
Mm.
not much happened.
Yeah.
That's out of the ordinary. But I do have one kind of semi-interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
Is that recently I went back to our university town just to kind of go gallivanting around a bit and look at the new sites.
Yeah.
And I went to this old diner that I used to go to called Mel's Diner.
Mm-hmm.
Had a really great poutine there, like buffalo chicken poutine. And because I hadn't eaten all day and I order with my eyes, I ordered a buffalo chicken poutine as an appetizer and then like a breakfast burrito for like my main course.
Really?
I could not finish it. Like
Jesus
at one
Christ, dude.
at one point during the meal, I literally felt like I was a couple seconds away from throwing up. So I was like, "Okay, I'm done."
And you're the fattest fuck.
Oh, thanks, Chris. I always have the nicest tone when you're speaking to me.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm very respectful.
But that was one thing. And then I went on my campus briefly, just kind of looked around. I picked up a copy of the school paper. I used to write for the school paper, and it's as much as of a shit show as I remember it. But that's my new experience, anyways. Just the brief moments I spent here.
Yeah, visiting your university is a new experience, eh? First time at Laurier?
Well, going back there, it was just kind of interesting, and like all the new buildings and stuff, and like the business buildings.
Did you go inside 7 new buildings?
I didn't go inside it. No.
Okay.
I just saw it, and I don't know. Like it was kind of unique. It was different. Like it definitely broke up the routine that I usually engage in, and maybe you're gonna outdo me in this week. We'll
Going
see.
back to that though, I can always see when I used to be a student, I would see like these like much older alumni come back on campus and be like, "Wow, it is like so different here now," and I'm like, "True, whatever." But now coming back as an alumni, I can see things like, "Man, there's like so much new shit now. There's like new restaurants, like this pizza place closed down. This new building is here. It used to be a church. Like things change so fast, and like you only appreciate it until you leave for like extended period of time." So,
it honestly feels like you're like when I went back, like I see everyone with their backpacks and stuff. It's like honestly feels like they're in a totally different world.
It does,
like,
right?
Yeah,
I feel so removed from that now.
Yeah, exactly. And like when I left university, I was so ready to leave university. Like I had accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish, and so I was just basically running out the clock at that point. And like once you're done and you look back on it, you're just like, wow, like that was like it was great. I had a great experience. But it's just like that's definitely in the past. Like I could not. Some people ask me like, "Would you ever do your master's?" And that sort of like, no. Like I could not go back to school because it just really does feel like a step kind of backwards. Like you're going back in time when I went and visited that place. I guess you feel the same way.
Yeah, I think I didn't do enough streaking when I was at Laurier, but like otherwise, I think I'm pretty satisfied with my experience.
I'm glad to hear that, Chris.
Yeah. But for my new experience of the week, it kind of ties into my.
Let the burp out, Chris, every week.
That was a burp / yawn. Call it a bon. So it was, it ties into my New Year's resolution of sorts, you know. I'm trying to work on being a little more organized, so being a lot more, like, documenting things. Like I actually started, like, writing down like new words I'm learning and like the meanings and stuff. So I writing down like I start keeping a workout journal. I document my spending and make a budget now. I'm like super like anal retentive nerd on these things now. Like,
so is this
I
because
have like hella documents on my computer for like recording my life.
is this because in the podcast I talked about how unorganized you are, and now you're gonna turn over a new leaf?
No, it wasn't because of you.
My criticisms
get over
rocked
yourself.
your soul.
No, I just feel like a lot of times like I was like pretty. I'm not writing things down. I feel like I'm like kind of like lost in the universe. So when I have things down, I can feel like the order and the structure which I like. So like I also look back and like be reflective. It's hard to do that like off the dome. So I kind of like this, and it's really helping me keep on track and like a lot of things I want to achieve this year.
So that's your new experience, Chris. You're writing lists. That's it.
Okay, well, you boil it down to that, but like, yeah, I am writing lists,
Yeah,
but
so-
I'm also, improving my life, following my resolutions, working towards my goals. And
No,
shit.
Chris, I think that's good. Anytime
Yeah.
someone takes time to improve themselves, that's definitely admirable. I need to, there's things I can improve on.
Yeah, that's
We
for sure.
both, yeah. But no, it is admirable. But although I definitely win this week with a new
How does that
experience of the week.
count? You went back to school,
And you wrote some things on a piece of paper.
It wasn't a piece of paper; it was a Word document.
Oh,
and
you
an
used the
Excel
Word document
spreadsheet.
before. Okay,
Oh my
Chris,
God,
you're wrong. You're wrong. That's a point for me.
Oh my God,
That's
okay.
confirmed point.
Well, I had some other things too, but I don't want to
Well,
say.
you chose
I
that
don't,
one.
I don't want to say them.
Okay,
Oh
you
my
chose.
God.
You made the
Fine,
choice. You live with the
fine.
consequences.
Okay, all right. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, yeah, all right. You win. God damn. Okay,
All right.
yeah.
Good. Now I feel satisfied.
Okay, yeah. Maybe have his bottle. God. Okay. So, man, what do we want to talk about this week?
We had two topics in mind. One of the big ones.
Tomi Lahren.
Oh my God. Yeah, sure. Let's talk about that. We can talk about that. So why not? So Tomi Lahren, as you may know, is a female conservative commentator who's on Glenn Beck's radio network, that failing, abysmal pile of steaming garbage.
What are you, Trump?
It is a pretty failing network. But she's like this kind of young, like millennial, like, relatively attractive blonde
I would
woman.
go more than relatively.
Well, let me set this up for you, Chris.
Mm.
So, I mean, people like who know her, they may have seen her like debate with Trevor Noah, which I thought was insanely overhyped. But regardless, that's kind of where like she has some viral videos that go around about like Colin Kaepernick and Black Lives Matter.
I've seen that stuff, the Colin Kaepernick stuff.
Yeah, so it's like she's kind of like that's her claim to fame, right? Is being like this like millennial, attractive conservative. But I get a text from Kris today, right? He's like, "Do you follow Tomi Lahren on Twitter?" I'm like, "No," and he's like, "I says something along those lines. I find her like insanely attractive."
Yeah, it's honestly really weird. Like her views are so in your face, obnoxiously right wing. Like I'm fine with people being right wing, but she's so like aggressively right wing. She's like literally thinks you're an idiot if you like have certain beliefs different from her own. But like I don't know. I just find her really attractive for some reason. Like I don't know. I just like it.
Would you ever like? I'd be so curious if you were ever have like a debate with her. Right?
I definitely lose. She's definitely a lot more well spoken. She knows her stuff. I guess.
Really?
But, yeah, she's pretty well. She runs a news. She's on a news network.
She doesn't
man.
run it.
She's her own news
She has a little
show.
commentator.
Oh, whatever. She still like knows more than I do, even though she's like live. It's like bluster and talking her ass. But,
I don't know. Like
I think she'd beat me in a debate, hands down.
I like the fact that she's lots of her points of view are things that I agree with, but at the same time, like I don't like when like she's kind of overhyped. Like she speaks for conservatism, and like she's there's a lot worse out there, right? But she's not like the most she's articulate, but she's just not the smartest person on these issues, right? Like, and I could argue a lot of these things better. So when she makes her appearance on Trevor Noah's Daily Show, which is not funny anymore,
Trevor Noah's great.
Yeah.
Tell him to stand up.
Anyway, yeah, you love the stand-up, not the actual show that he's been on now for a year.
I
But,
watch late TV. Go to
regardless-
bed at 8.
Regardless,
Yeah.
like he's kind of hailed as like this. He's supposed to be very knowledgeable leftist, which he isn't, and then she's held up like she's supposed to be very knowledgeable conservative, which she isn't, and like it's just like I hate when people are kind of told like this person is supposed to speak for you, and they do a terrible job at it. and it rubs me the wrong way. Like, again, I'm glad she gets some viral fame. I'm glad her points of view are resonating because they're points of view that I share. Mm-hmm. But I don't like when people are like, she speaks for conservatism, because I just don't think she does the best job. I don't hate her, but there's better people out there that I think are a little better.
Like, who would be better?
I like Ezra Levant.
Yeah.
He's good. I like people, like a couple people on Fox. Some people on Fox are really
good. If you need to pick somebody who was like within like 22, 26, who would you pick?
22. Oh, well, there's only one other person who's like Lauren Southern, but I don't know. I kind of like, she's better, but I still think she kind of suffers. Actually, no, she's better. I'll cut her some slack. She's better than her. But yeah, no, it's just like, if you don't know who these people are, definitely Google them.
Yeah, definitely look up their Twitters and stuff,
But yeah, no, I just thought it was very interesting that like Kris is so drawn to these women who are like diametrically like opposed to everything he
I know. I live on conflict, like I want someone who can like challenge me and like make me wanna, make me mad all the time. Yeah.
She'd make you mad?
Probably.
Reading her tweets makes you mad?
She would just be like, oh, like, if you're a millennial and you want X and Y and Z, you're a snowflake. And I'd be like, fuck you, Tommy. But I'd also be like, oh, God, I'm in love with you.
Kris, you are a weird person, but that's why I love you. I think I think the other topic, though, that we wanted to get into was the big...
no, because
we have to save that?
I have a better segue, though.
Better segue. Right,
speaking of attractive women, Meryl Streep.
Oh, God. Yeah, so Meryl Streep did her nice little Golden Globes speech performance.
Like, the GGs, as they call it in the industry.
Yeah. She gave her late night ramblings live on television, and like people, Twitter blew up over this sort of stuff.
Twitter was ablaze.
But anytime I hear that Twitter blew up over something, I mean that's pretty like just par for the course. Mm-hmm. When she gave this speech, they're saying it's like a rowdy condemnation of President-elect Donald Trump. And so I wanted first, before I get into it, because everyone will know my views. What are your views on this, Kris?
I'm going to give you the before, during, and after. So before I had actually watched the things, I'm not a big fan of award shows generally. I only watch superhero movies, comedies, and cartoons. I'm very cultured.
Can we talk about like how quickly, very briefly, like how terrible these award shows are, like the red carpet and all these.
What do you mean?
Things?
Well, they're terrible. They're just not like
so like who? Oh man. It just rubs me the wrong way. Like, I have to watch the red carpet. A bunch of people.
Well, you want to see the outfits, and you want to see who does the performances.
Do you?
Well, I don't. That's
like,
why I don't watch them.
I wonder what you do with this information. Like, you see someone's outfit, and like, does that stay with you? Do you remember it ever again? Like, you just see it, and you just kind of like, oh, that was that. And
well, if you want to buy it at Winners one day, I don't know.
Buy it at Winners, yeah. Winners of all places. No, but honestly. Like, it's just the weirdest thing that people are into, right? And they have some interviews like, hey, George Clooney, what do you think? Oh, things are going quite well over here. And then they're like, oh, look who it is over here. And it's just it's just super glamorous, but also so shallow and just boring. And it provides nothing of value, in my opinion.
Like, I feel like it's kind of like same as watching, like, any, like, sports draft. Like, past, like, a certain couple rounds, like, who really gives a fuck about, like...
What? I don't watch sports drafts
the 20th
either.
Round pick, honestly. Some people do watch sports drafts. They like, rapt attention.
You know what? Fine. That's like the man's version of the red carpet, then.
Whoa, man. Anybody can love red carpets. Anybody can love giraffes, all right? I want you to apologize to our viewers.
No.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, so yeah, get on to, you said before you heard about this?
So I was on Twitter and I was like, man, I heard like Meryl Streep, Meryl Streep delivered a powerful speech. Like, she really attacked Trump, like
she ran away with this. That's all the headlines. That she just
Did you not interrupt me?
Oh, I'm sorry.
So yeah, she's like, oh, it's all these things that people saying like, oh, Meryl Streep was amazing. And I was like, man, she must have really dug into him. Like, she delivered like a 20-minute just monologue about all the things she hates about Trump and the way America currently is and how it should be improved for the better. And I was like, okay, all right, this is gonna be epic. So I watched it, and it's 5-6 minutes. The first third is they're calling everybody in the audience as being like, Ryan Reynolds from Canada, person's from Italy, person's from fucking somewhere in the southern states. It's it was really weird. And she's just saying, oh, we're all no one lives in Hollywood. We're all immigrants here, so you can't get rid of immigrants. And then he said something about like how Trump mocked the disabled reporter,
which is false.
Okay, chill. But yeah, I don't know the credibility of that. But Trump vehemently denies mocking his disability. But he does say that he like call him stupid or something like that. I don't know. Whatever. Neither here nor there. But and then like she goes on to talk about what she talked about. The third thing she talked about after like
she said the thing where she's like, if you kick us all out, you'll just have to watch football and mixed martial arts.
Oh yeah, and it's like, hey, Meryl Streep, like I know you're a celebrated actress and like you're an amazing person, but like don't shun football and MMA. Like I love football and MMA. I don't watch MMA, but MMA is cool. You know, like it's pretty fun. It isn't. I wouldn't say it's the arts. It's a sport, but like it's still pretty sick, pretty fucking dope. And then like so afterwards, I thought like it wasn't very powerful. I thought it was very like rambly, and like also she delivered it very like she's kind of like she's like acting poorly. She's delivering like a bad script, and so like she didn't know how to act.
That's a good way of putting it.
She's like all over the place with her mannerisms and her voice, and like it just seemed really weird. And I wasn't super engaged, and I was kind of like wondering like what's she getting at. And she's a lot of like roundabout ways talking about Trump and like how she's been treating the press and stuff, and it's like. Oh, yeah. I wanted her to actually say Trump. She never said Trump once.
Yeah, no, she didn't. Yeah. And that's supposed to be powerful, right? Doesn't name him, but we all know who she's talking about.
Was he Voldemort?
Yeah,
Come on,
that's someone. Yeah, that someone actually made that comparison. Yeah. I saw that, but no, and then
it was me.
But then another thing that like she spoke about, and this is not just her. Like a lot of people are saying this. They're like, we need the press. Like the press needs to start doing its job. It's like, what is all that means? All they mean when they say that is the press needs to just keep throwing everything in the kitchen. Like, they're already throwing everything in the kitchen sink at the guy, right? It's like, what do you expect at this point? Like,
not every...
Dude, everything and the kitchen sink is thrown at Donald Trump repeatedly. So, I mean, like, I find it's stupid when people say, like, the press really needs to do its job. And the press is terrible, right? But the job that they want them to do is not... Is like explicitly why the press is so terrible. And when she says things like that, it's just really off-putting. And when she says like things like shitting on football and MMA, right? I enjoy both those things. I'm not the biggest fan. Like I do love football. I do love MMA, but I'm not the biggest fan on the planet with those things. But it just show her like elitism a bit.
Yeah, I did kind of get that. She's like, "Oh, all you have is sports,
yeah,
which aren't the arts." Yeah. And it's like, "Hey, relax, Meryl Streep. Okay, we get it."
Yeah, it's just really pompous and arrogant and off-putting, and I think it just kind of shows what we dislike, like what we disliked about Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And all these celebrities came out and were denouncing Donald Trump, right? All of these people were coming out and denouncing Donald Trump. And yeah, like, Hillary won the popular vote because of California, where Hollywood is, right? But it's like, other people saw these celebrities, and they just didn't care, right? I think, like, their opinions don't matter anymore. Or at least I'm glad, like, they're losing a lot of influence. When she comes on, like, people, they just have this idea that they're the ones who are right. You know, they went to some art school and studied drama, and they're in movies, so have very educated opinions that we all need to listen to. Mm-hmm. Like maybe people just want to see the awards, right? Maybe people just want to see what actors are getting accredited and getting like praise. Maybe like why is it that half the country voted for the guy, right? So it's like. Well, you're shutting down half the country and denouncing by, you know, as a result, kind of denouncing everyone who voted for him, right? She's like, her heart was broken when he attacked this disabled reporter, which again wasn't true. But it's like you're basically implying that the people that voted for him don't care about disabled people, or like, at the very least, don't care enough that they still voted for him.
I guess this kind of brings me back to something that Tomi Lahren said. It's something
You're obsessed, Kris.
I'm not obsessed. Like, I only have one poster. All right. She said, like, if you're still saying that, like, Trump, not my president, like, you might be a snowflake, which is like a derogatory term calling you kind of like a pussy or like a loser. So
pussy's more accurate. That's what she's going for.
Yeah, I guess pretty much what she's going for. But yeah, I guess I kind of agree. Like, yeah, I mean, he's gonna be inaugurated in like less than about slightly over a week now. I mean, like he's not like he's gonna be president. We have to like accept that. I mean, we can't. I'm not saying we're supposed to like lie down if he does something like stupid and not call him out for it, but like you can't be saying like, oh, I know. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this.
No, you can't just be, I know what you're saying. You
Yeah.
can't just, like, lock yourself in your basement for 4 to
Yeah,
8 years and
exactly,
be like, he's not
yeah.
the president. He's not the president. Like, cover
Yeah.
your ears. Right? Like, and I think that kind of shows, like, it's such a weird situation because he was not supposed to win. Right? Like, when every single force imaginable is coming together to attack somebody,
Mm-hmm.
like, they're just not supposed to win.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at all. And he did. So we're kind of seeing what happens when, like, the entire world turns against somebody and they still win, and like we're living in the aftermath of that. But yeah, like you can't just the idea that you're just not even going to acknowledge him as the president, like just wipe him from the history books. Anytime he gives a speech, oh, you're normalizing him. It's like he is the president, right?
And he deserves respect as the president.
I'm actually surprised you say that, Chris.
Well, like I respect the position and title of president. I mean, it's like. It's like one of the high positions in like the free world is the president of the United States. So like, and he won it, despite what people saying about Russia and all kinds of other shit. But like, he still won it, so
yeah,
he deserves at least some modicum of respect for that.
I'm curious how how actors are going to deal with this, because I remember under like George Bush, right? Like there was just a lot of like anytime there's like the Oscars, there would just be those swipes at George Bush or against conservatives, and like under Obama, right? It was like, oh, we have this magical president, and now it's back to Donald Trump. I think it's just going to be like ratcheted up to the most extreme, right? Like this is just the start of it. Anytime there's some sort of controversy around the time of one of these awards shows, it's going to be someone who goes up there and says and just pronounces like they're like some sort of powerful voice when they're really not. Like they're not educated. A lot of these actors, like in this sort of field. But they're just going to start ranting and raving. It's like, they usually have time limits for, like, speeches as well. Like, when they start playing the music, they're just like, like, oh, she's saying everything we agree with, so let's just let her
keep going. It's not a long cane, it's pull you out
But it's like, I think it's like what a lot of people hate about Hollywood kind of wrapped up in a good 5-minute segment, really. And almost everyone in the audience, all the other celebrities are like nodding their heads, like, "Yeah, that's right. Get him, Meryl. Get him."
And one of them was like getting really emotional. Like I forget.
What's her name? Lady who plays Olivia Pope in Scandal. What's her name? It's gonna kill me. I can't.
Is Golden Globes TV and movies? Why was she there?
I don't know, but she's they're all the same. Like they're just the same cast of characters, right? Always like invited to all these things. I gotta look up her name because it's gonna kill me. But yeah, it's just like honestly, what frustrates me is just like that hive mind.
Using Safari? What?
Yes, I'm using.
Why don't you use the Chrome app?
Shut up, Chris. The actress is Kerry Washington. There we go. So yeah, Kerry Washington's like tearing up, like, oh, this is so beautiful. Like it's not I Have a Dream speech, right? It literally. I wouldn't be surprised if she had like a couple too many glasses of wine before getting up there, and. It's just like the hive mind.
Yeah.
It's the echo chamber. Everyone has the same views, and everyone's just. It wasn't magical. And then the worst is anytime something like this happens, people are on Twitter like, Meryl for president. Like, so it's like you're just complaining Donald Trump was unqualified. Like, yes, that's what we need. Meryl Streep to be the next president.
We've had active presidents before.
Yes, we have. Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, it was Ronald Reagan.
Yes, it was, Chris.
Famous racist Ronald Reagan.
Well, that's interesting because, when he was running, they were like, oh, he's an actor. He can't do it. But those same people are like, yeah, Meryl for president. So, I mean, it is just kind of...
Merylonomics.
Streeponomics. That's probably what it would be.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Streeponomics.
But you one last thing I want to talk about, because you kind of bring it up. Not to go too long with this segment, but because the inauguration is coming up, right? Do you think anything's going to be different post-inauguration? Do you think people are going to act different, or do you think it's going to be the same sort of
post-inauguration?
Yeah,
I think it's going to be like more of like defeat's going to really hit home on the 20th. Like people are just going to be like, oh fuck, like he's no longer President-elect Trump. He is President Trump.
That's
like
true,
the Obamas have left the building. Donald Trump and his wife, Melania's his wife, right?
Yeah.
Melania moved in with whichever their children have moved in. Like he has his cabinet set up. Like Donald Trump is now in charge of America for the next 4 years and possibly another 4. Who knows what happens? People stand for 8 years.
Yeah,
and like that's it. It's gonna be like just a huge, just like defeated like feeling around for a while.
I don't think it'll be defeat, Kris.
I think the people who are like staunchly against Trump will be like,
right.
Wow, this sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be... It's just really interesting. Like, although the one thing that I noticed, right, and like this speaks to like kind of a bigger point. Like, I love politics and everything, but this is the first time it was an election where I was really like desperate for it to end because it really was so nasty. And I do hope that like people kind of come together after this and just become more unified, because it was really like on a profound level, like very hate-filled election, and I hope that he can be a unifier. I think a lot of people are hoping he isn't a unifier, and he's secretly hoping he's disastrous. Kind of like, quite frankly, a lot of Republicans were hoping that Obama was a disastrous president, right? Because they want to be able to see the Democrats know what they're doing, and then the Republicans take over. It's just like the shoes on the other foot now. It's like people really want Trump to fail. They don't care who gets hurt. They don't care if like every job leaves America. They just want him to fail so badly. And I that's kind of sad. I do hope that we kind of mend the
Much people like say like, oh man, Trump's gonna cause like World War III. He's gonna piss off like North Korea or China or even Russia somehow. And they're gonna all attack the U.S. at once, and then it's gonna cause the end of the world. I think people actually want to see, so they'll be like, I fucking told you guys months ago.
The nukes
Why did you?
It's like told you. Yeah. No, but no, in all reality, like I hope we can kind of start like it almost still feels like election season. Like it's not as bad, definitely not ratcheted up, but it's like people are still so combative, and that I really hope that will stop eventually. Fingers crossed, anyways. But yeah, no, that's where I wanted to leave it. But on the Trump subject, anyways.
Yo, so the Obamas have left the White House by now, right? They've actually left.
I don't think so.
I've seen a lot of like things on Instagram of them like yo, Obama's dope and like
Obama made his his final speech.
Yeah,
as president.
Did you watch that? Was it good?
I didn't watch that.
Me neither.
I
didn't
watch his inaugurations either. I know
Beyonce was there.
Probably.
As inauguration.
Oh, great. Yeah, whoop-de-dee. But no, it's just, I heard it was a very emotional speech. The internet is so vicious. They're like Obama's, and this was even conservatives. This is just like stupid people. Although some conservatives as well. Oh, like one of Obama's daughters wasn't present. And people are like, where is she? Where is she? Like, we need answers. Where is she? And then people are making a big sting of this. Like, she had, like, final exams or something. It's like she wasn't there. But, like, for a whole day, people were just, like, harassing other people on Twitter. Like, where's the story on this? And it's, like, it's just people are desperate to, like, find something to start a controversy over. And it's something so frivolous and stupid.
It was Malia, right? The older one?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, Obama's going to be out of there. And the Trump family will be in there. It's like, yeah, huge change of power, but it's time to move on. Honestly, it's time to. This is like a new era of politics, I think, and I'm eager to see more. I'm eager to see more of the aftermath of it, as opposed to like the actual.
Yeah, I do want to see what the first 100 days are like. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Oh my god!
Finally get hoverboards, probably.
That's his first bill he passes, like mandatory hoverboard funding, but anyways, there's I think that pretty much covers it. Is there anything else you want to talk about? What did I want
to say?
There was something I needed to plug.
Briefly, can you imagine, because Malia's going to Harvard for university? Can you imagine being the president's daughter in university? You can't do shit. You can't fucking get really drunk. You can't smoke weed.
She put up. You
can't sleep around really because it's gonna be all of.
Could you imagine what a trophy that would be?
Can you imagine
Barack's kid? Barack, I'm gonna make you a grandfather like that.
Oh God, so disrespectful. Can you imagine?
She's probably heavily guarded, personally guarded, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure she wants to be because people are gonna try and take advantage of her and for the story and stuff.
Although I remember, sorry, I can't even speak. I remember she did post at one point some video on Instagram. This is years ago. She was dancing to some Joey Badass song, and that was made headlines briefly. But it's I don't care about that stuff, right? Same with George Bush's kids, or just maybe he has one daughter, whatever it is. These sorts of headlines. They're more for the gossip magazines, right? And they're nothing that needs to be, I think, addressed. And then some people always take it too far, Obama needs to be a better father to his children. It's the most, out of all things you could criticize him on, like, this is the
Yeah.
most disrespectful thing to get into.
Obama's a great father.
Okay, well then you say that, it's like, I don't know, we were not there.
I know it was
He's
there.
the president. I'm sure he's busy. But it's just like when people
I'm
tell
sure
him
he's handling both. I'm sure he's a
Dude.
attentive father, a loving husband, and was a good president all at the same time.
All right, well, I have no comment to that.
You ever made him pancakes for breakfast? Or is he always too busy for that?
They have people making that shit.
You don't think you ever made him pancakes? Like
I don't know, Chris.
himself.
But this is a tabloid, stupid tabloid crowd. I remember once I saw a magazine in I think it was a dentist's office or something,
Mm-hmm.
where it was like, the headline was like, Obama's sham marriage, and then it was like, Michelle Obama's Secret Service lover. Like it's such trash.
Like I wonder how they come up with these these headlines. And
Yeah, like
articles,
the source of a source once whispered to someone else that this could be a possibility. Nothing's ever verified. It's just, the audience for this stuff is just people who are just like so obsessed with following like the glitz and like the same red carpet fans. People who watch that stuff, like they're fans of these sorts of stories. And
hey, all fans of the award ceremonies are like big into the gossipy stuff, though, right?
No, not all, but the people that are into the gossipy rags, I'm sure watch.
I'm sure some do, yeah, because they like that whole celebrity gossip thing,
Yeah, but there's something I wanted to plug. I think if we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
One of the websites I write for, loonypolitics.com,
Mm-hmm.
you can read all my articles there. They're starting they're becoming premium now,
Mm-hmm.
and as a part of their premium package, right? It's $5 a month to get the premium content. Loony Politics
Not
is
too
basically
much.
yeah, it's not. And Loony Politics is basically like Real Clear Politics, except for Canada. So you kind of just have like, apart from its own individual opinion columns, it's just kind of a website you can go to see all the big headlines in Canadian news. So it's a pretty great site. So the premium stuff is like different opinion columns and podcasts and that sort of stuff. The opinion columns, it's $5 a month or $50 for the year, which is essentially 2 months free. But if you use the promo code Jabara, my last name, I swear to God,
that's sick. Congrats.
Yeah, promo code Jabara, you get 20% off, so it's $40 for the entire year. So definitely look into that if you're interested. It's honestly a great website. Like it's growing, it's doing very well. Like no one wants to have to keep like 1,000 different websites in their tabs, right? So one place where you can go and it just has the collection of everything. It really is a great website, and I'm honored to be a part of it.
You're saying it was a more conservative-based website?
No, it's not conservative at all.
Okay.
It's actually pretty neutral, because it's just like headlines, right?
Okay,
and then
cool.
whoever, like the owner of the site, Robert Wood, like anyone who wants to write for him who like has like a background in the writing and stuff, like he's very open, right? Doesn't matter what your views are. So like there's people in there that are conservative, people that aren't. And then his podcast, he just interviews a bunch of different people. It's not a conservative site by any stretch, but no, it is a great website, and I highly recommend it. And yes, the promo code Jabara, and you get a discount.
Spell your name.
Gibara.
That's Gibara for people out there,
Yeah, so look into it. But yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah. So we're gonna make some changes to the podcast coming up. Some big things happening.
Well, we made the big jump to YouTube.
Yeah, we're on YouTube now. Left SoundCloud. Soon to be on iTunes and shit. But I think the biggest change of all is that starting next week, we'll no longer be a podcast. We will be a food blog. So follow us for No Girlfriend Food Blog.
He's joking, guys.
I'm not joking. We're becoming a food blog. I've decided today. I think it'd be nice to change. Yeah.
Oh. Fuck you. But yeah. So keep listening to us. Keep enjoying what we're doing. I have some ideas I'm going to float by Kris behind the scenes. So definitely be on the lookout for stuff in the future.
We want to do some big things in 2017. Really get us to the next strata of podcast success. So yeah, like us on Twitter at No Girlfriend Pod. Follow us on Facebook. Like us on Facebook.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, that too. We get some money out of it possibly. We get more things for you guys, prizes for you guys, not for me. Not buying new jeans for me. What else? NoGirlfriendPodcast@gmail.com. That's NoGirlfriendPodcast@gmail.com. Comment to us. Say what you're thinking about the upcoming inauguration. Did you like Obama? Did you not like Obama? Do you like Tomi Lahren? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about your experience of the week. Whatever you want to say, down to listen. So, yeah,
Do you even remember the slogan? It's been 3 weeks.
what was it? I'm loving it.
Stay
I'll just stay single and stay hungry. Peace out.